Saturday Report. I am Rita Cosby. A lot of trouble on our southern border despite a major decision that came from a federal judge which kept Title 42 in place. States along the border are seeing a surge, a massive one, of border crossings. And joining us now to discuss is former acting Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Mark Morgan. Mark, it is so great to have you here. We're so excited. There you are. I'm so glad that you're with us again. It's wonderful. We just love your perspective. I want to get your take first, Mark. FBI Director Christopher Wray spoke about the national security implications on the border, and I want to get your reaction. Take a listen, Mark.
Certainly, any porous point of entry is a potential vulnerability that bad actors of all sorts, including national security threats, can seek to exploit. I've had CBP folks show me around so I can see firsthand what they're dealing with, and they have a heck of a challenge on their hands.
And Mark, what's your reaction? He was pretty candid, and it was interesting. It got a lot of headlines.
Yeah, he was candid, but let's keep in mind, it was a little bit of forced candidness, right? He was asked direct questions that he could not avoid answering. Look, this goes right in line with what we've been saying for years. Look, I used to be part of the FBI. In fact, I was especially in charge of the Paso division that was right on the border. Been saying it from that moment that what's happening on our border is absolutely a national security threat and vulnerability. Look, this goes, the director's comments really go on the heels of what's happened the past 3 weeks. We know that we've encountered 42 illegal aliens on the FBI's terror screening database. We know that an illegal alien, that it was a suspected terrorist, was actually released into the country and took ICE 2 weeks to actually locate and apprehend. And we just learned that the FBI thwarted a terrorist attack from an illegal alien who, quote, from the indictment said that he was prepared to smuggle in additional terrorists from the wide open southwest border to plan a terrorist attack to assassinate former President Bush. So yes, this is absolutely about time, and I think it really puts the last nail in the coffin that what's happening on our southwest border is a direct national security threat to this country.
Yeah, no doubt, and you just hit some very important points. It is stunning. By the way, I was just seeing a few minutes ago, Mark, that they are saying there's 50,000 migrants that are basically sitting on the other side of the border waiting for Title 42 to be lifted. What do you think is going to happen with Title 42? We know the judge intervened, but we also know that the Biden administration appealed it.
Yeah, that's right, Rita. It's a very good point. Look, the judge's order, it's a victory, but it's a small v. And this is why I say this. Look, Title 42 has been in place the entire time during President Biden's term here so far, but yet we're already in the middle of the worst catastrophic crisis on our southern border that we've seen in our history. Just last month, 234,000 encounters. Up to this point right now in this administration, 750,000 gotaways, known gotaways, those that are broken in our southwest border and evaded apprehension because Border Patrol agents are pulled off the line to be travel agency for the illegal migrants. But look, once Title 42 does end, make no mistake, it's going to make the crisis worse. I keep saying it's going to be like the Hindenburg crashing into the Titanic.
Wow, that is a very scary analogy. At the same time that they're asking for more COVID funds, again, miraculously, there doesn't seem to be any COVID at the border, and they seem so intent on pushing this. How do you see this turning around? How do you see this impacting things? Do you think that someone's going to say, hey, wait a minute, even if they do it for political reasons, because how is that going to look good to see these massive caravans crossing across the border for Democrats on an election year?
Yeah, Rita, that's a good point. Look, no, they're doubling down. They're tripling down on their open border policies. Look, they know the stats that I'm giving you, 750,000 gotaways, and they know there are very bad people among those gotaways. There's murderers, rapists, criminals, and gang members on top of the national security vulnerability. They know drugs are pouring into the wide open southwest border that have killed 100,000 Americans 2 years in a row. 100,000 Americans died from a drug overdose in 12 months. That's more Americans that died in all the terrorist attacks, the Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam wars combined, Rita, for example. So they know exactly what they're doing. They know it's the harm to this country, and they show no signs of doubling down. That's why this November is so important. And we get people in Congress that understand border security is national security, and they're going to do everything to reverse this administration policies and protect Americans.
No, you bring up some great points. People need to think about it, especially when they go to the voting booth, because this is a massive issue. And once Title 42 gets lifted, as you just said, it could be the Hindenburg. That's a really scary analogy. Mark, thank you. Always love having you on. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thanks, Rita.
Thank you. And everybody stay right there. The second hour of Saturday Report.